Inspector General of the Interior Department does an investigation on the people who are supposed to be collecting money for the United States from the oil companies. Now, you know all that drill baby drill that the Republicans are talking about? They're drilling on our land. It's the land of the American taxpayers. Okay, it's American land. And for the right to drill on our land, they're supposed to pay us money. Or what they do is they do sometimes, lately they've been doing a program where they pay us in oil, and then we sell the oil on the open market, the government does, and we get the money for it. And it's a good program. It brings in a lot of money. Now, we should be charging a hell of a lot more to the oil companies. Canada charges nearly twice as much as we do, and oil companies are perfectly happy to do business in Canada anyway. We don't charge them nearly enough. Why? Because they have lobbyists that pay off our politicians. Now, to Sarah Palin's credit, she changed that in Alaska. That was the best thing she's ever done. Okay? Credit where credit is due. Now, in the United States, in the rest of the, for the federal government, the Bush administration has no interest in that. Instead, what they did was they filled the Interior Department, this program where we get paid in oil and then we sell it on the open market. They filled it with a bunch of cronies. And what did these guys do? They literally went to bed with the oil companies. Number one, dozens of them took basically bribes from the oil companies. Hundreds of gifts. Dozens, sometimes two of them took 135 gifts from the oil companies. And then when they're asked about it, the Inspector General comes and says, well, you're making a contract where you determine how much the U.S. government is going to get paid by Chevron, and Chevron is giving you all these gifts. Don't you think that might be a problem? They're like, nope, not really. Took a golf trip and a ski trip with them. And oh, by the way, I've been sleeping with oil company executives. It's not an exaggeration, it's not a turn of phrase. These guys that are running this program are literally, a couple of them, are literally sleeping with oil company employees. Now, I don't know if it's a quid pro quo. Hey, we'll get you some money, we'll get you a nice ski vacation, and we'll get you Sarah from Human Resources, right? But you don't think that might be a conflict of interest? It's a gigantic conflict of interest. But of course, it's not just that. They also set up companies where they funnel the money through their companies. Oh, we need the government needs help from a private company to sell this oil. Huh, look at that. It's my private company that I set up, and I'm making the money off of it. I mean, that's not a conflict of interest. That's just an outright scam. That's totally illegal. You can't, as a government employee, set up a company and then give the contract to that company. And then some of them, and this is beautiful, then get paid as private consultants to the oil companies that they're supposed to be negotiating contracts with. Now, do you think that they negotiated a contract that's in our best interest or their best interest? Now, to the credit of the Inspector General of the Interior Department, he blew this whole thing up. And he said, here it is. They've been ripping us off for all this time, and there's a completely lawless atmosphere in the Interior Department. So it's a good job in exposing it. But this is exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the MO inside the Bush administration. This is what they do. Why do you think those guys got the memo, got an implicit message for dozens of them to set up these scams where they all get paid? You think it was a coincidence? No. From up top, there was a message. The gloves are off. No one's watching. There are no watchdogs. Go to work, Haas. Have at it, Haas. Okay? You want to get rich? You want to make deals that are friendly to the oil companies? Go for it. Dick Cheney and George Bush are in charge. And you're going to take the same Republican Party infrastructure that is loaded to the brim with these people, and you're going to re-elect them and have, well, oh no, it's okay, John McCain's the head of it, and he believes in 10% change. So he'll change that whole Republican Party infrastructure by about 10%. They're going to rob you blind again. They're going to rob you blind again while they're sleeping and literally in bed with the oil companies. Why would you make that mistake again?